Hello lads, how are we doing? I've got a video for you today. I'm going to give you the complete guide to mental strength and I'm going to give you the exact steps that I use to learn to master my own mind. So starting off, I just want to tell you what a mentally strong person actually looks like because you need to know what you want to become actually looks like. So a mentally strong person has absolute complete control of their emotions. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions, and they don't let how they feel dictate what they're going to do. So they do what they do, like I said at the bottom, it does not matter how they feel, that they do whatever needs to be done effectively, and your emotions, they just don't come into it. So also it's self-discipline, and what I mean by that specifically is effectively self-control. So when you feel like you want to do something, but you know it's not right, whether that's eating sugar, watching porn, playing video games when you've got other stuff to do, etc., you need to be able to control your own mind and not let yourself give in to this cheap dopamine, this pleasure, this this fake all this fake artificial dopamine that is around now. You just can't be given into any of that. So a mentally strong person has complete self-control over themselves and their minds and what they do and how they act, and also resilience. So every time you get a setback or failure or knockdown, a mentally strong person doesn't even look at that as a failure. It's just part of the game, and it's something that just happens. So they just don't give up. It's how many times you can get hit and just keep on going. That's really what it, in a nutshell, they're the four things that make up a mentally strong individual. So where mental strength comes from, how it's, because it's not something you're born with, it's something that's curated over a longer period of time. And to start, well, in a nutshell, it's pain and hardship, which mental strength is derived from. It's going through self-inflicted, and actually not just self-inflicted, but pain and hardship in general. And I don't mean something like banging your knee or stubbing your toe, not back pain, not nothing like that, not that type of pain. It's the pain, the psychological pain of doing certain tasks that you really feel a lot of resistance towards and things you don't want to do. This could be exercise, running, cold showers, off the top of my head, just tasks you feel a lot of resistance towards. They are the tasks you need to be doing, and every time you do them tasks, you get more mentally strong. Your mental strength, it's how it works is you start off at really low level, and every time you do something that you don't want to do, you get more and more mentally strong, and it constantly increases, and it works like that, and it works like that in an inverse where if you don't use it, you will lose it. If you get too comfortable, you aren't keeping that mental strength. You need to be. That's sort of the point of it, really. It's a never-ending game. Like, you can't just become disciplined and stay disciplined. You have to be disciplined to stay disciplined. Really, it's you need to seek pain and hardship everywhere in your life and get 1% better every single day is what I always say. And I wake up every single day more mentally strong than I was yesterday, because every single day I'm not allowing myself to go against my word or not do what I was going to say I was going to do. And that's sort of how it works. You just keep building it up, and that's how the things that used to be hard get easier, and the and then once them things become easier, you find harder, more challenging tasks. Like, for example, you find it very psychologically hard to go out on a run, but after you've done it so many times, you'll end up running 10k, 10 miles, half marathons, 20 miles, and then going out and running like 20 miles, you're out for about 3 hours. It's getting up at 5:30 and going for a 20-mile run takes a lot of mental strength. You can't just be a random person who's never even gone to the gym and have that, like taking away the physical side, you can't even have the mental side. No one's born with the mental side of being able to do things like that, so it is curated over time. And you just need to keep building it up every single day, and that's all it really is. So, it's how to become mentally strong. To start with, you've got to just stop chasing the cheap dopamine, the pleasure, the artificial highs that are so present in current society. Off the top of my head, alcohol, drugs, porn, sugar, too much social media, video games, stuff like that. That's all got to go. You can't even think clearly or correctly because your brain is so utterly fried on that shit. So I've made multiple videos around cheap dopamine, how to cut out bad habits, listed all the bad habits and how to get rid of them, giving you suggestions on what you should do, practical steps you can take to get rid of them. But it's probably always the first thing that I recommend to anyone that's actually trying to improve their life. And you need mental strength to improve your life. Otherwise, without mental strength, you can't be consistent. You lack consistency, and consistency is how you win. Consistency beats everything in the long term. So what you need to start doing, it's as simple as this. You've just got to seek pain and hardship everywhere, every day. Always take the path of most resistance. Always pick the hardest option. Always go the extra rep, the extra set. Always actually never give in to your desires, when you know you shouldn't. It's okay every now. I don't want you to get confused with my video. I'm not saying you can never eat bad food or drink alcohol or stuff like that. Some things I would say never do, like porn. Don't take drugs either, really, because this is if you want to do things with your life. You shouldn't be doing these things. But stuff like drinking, eating sugar, it can be done every now and again. But the important thing is to don't do it when you say you're not going to do it. If you're on a diet and you say you're not eating sugar, that is, you do not eat sugar. Otherwise, that is how you become mentally weaker. So if you're allowing yourself to drink and allowing yourself to eat sugar, that's fine. That's not going to make you any mentally less weak. It's when you go against your word, that's how you go down in mental strength. So that's why I never say anything that I'm not gonna 100% go through with. Otherwise, it's just futile and actually does you just harm. So it's like when I plan my days. If it's written down, too tough luck. I've got to do it. I don't have a choice really. So do something every day that sucks. Make a list of things you absolutely hate. Pick the thing you hate the most off that list. Do that every single day. I like to when I plan my days, I have my three most important tasks. They're usually in the morning, and that's how they get done. And when you start your day off with hard things as well, you frame your day in a way that makes the rest of the day much more likely to be a lot more proactive and productive as well. So you need to start with things literally like training, eating clean, going to sleep on time. That takes discipline. It takes especially initially, it is painful to do, psychologically painful, because you're so not into doing that. You haven't done it before, and change is painful. That's why it's always most painful at the start. Things like that now, when you've been doing it for a while, they are a lot easier, and you have more things, more hard tasks, more hard challenges, objectives that you complete every single day. But I think they're the basic things that you should really do when you're looking for hard things to implement into your life. The important thing to mention is when you don't want to do something is when it matters the most. The times when you don't want to train, the times you really want to eat, say, sugar or drink alcohol, the times you really don't want to do it, you need to do it. They are the most important times for you to do it, because otherwise you are then the split second you make the decision not to go, you've allowed yourself to become the type of person that can miss a training session, especially especially when you know you should be going. So if you again, it comes back to, if you've said you're going to do it and you're not going to do it, that's when it becomes a problem, and that's when Obviously, it's not going to physically hurt your physique to miss a training session, but it is going to compound over time as you've allowed yourself to. It's like training your mind to allow yourself to do those type of things. Whereas when you say to yourself, "I'm going to do this," it doesn't matter how I feel, I'm going to do it every single day. And when you have that split second thought of I don't want to do this, should I do it? It's like your mind that you've trained your mind after a certain while to be like, well, we're doing it anyway. It doesn't matter. Like even I still have them thoughts every single day where, oh, should I do it? Should I get up and go run? It's just, but I call it I call it the inner bitch that's in the head. And he's saying, oh, don't, maybe we shouldn't go for a run today. We went for a run yesterday, but then there's the part of me in the other side of my head, which is much stronger now, and it just kills it off. Bang, we do it anyway. It's like an automatic switch as soon as that voice comes into your head, and that's from just years of training your mind over and over again. And that's because all the times when I didn't want to do it, that's when you grow the most, when you do the thing. So it's a really important point. And lastly, is just set one task a day and complete it every single day. It can be literally one hard task a day. It can be very small to start with, but it's about building the discipline and consistency, and that's really where you start. It can be literally the smallest task in the world, but you just have to show up and do it every single day. And as long as you feel a little bit of resistance towards it, then it's good enough. And then you just build that up over and over again. And obviously, the easiest way to become mentally strong, like the easiest place to start, is just with your training. Just start training, start going to the gym, start exercising. Literally, it could be 15 minutes a day. You could exercise 5 days a week, and it's better than nothing. If you still feel resistance towards it, it's good. It's how you curate mental strength. And the last thing I want to talk about, I normally finish most of my videos with this because it's so important. You've got to take action. You have to take action, as mental strength comes from action, not thoughts. You can't think about becoming mentally strong. That just doesn't make any sense. It becomes through physical action and creating physical and psychological pain for yourself, because action solves everything. Even if you think a little bit, you're much less likely to do the hard thing. And that's what I find. If I sit there for too long, my mind will start freaking out and coming up with all these random excuses that aren't even, it's like lying to yourself in a way. Like your mind will just go, oh, I ran yesterday, I shouldn't run today, I actually feel a little bit ill, and then you don't go. So you shouldn't think, you should just act. You should always just do the thing straight away because you know you should do it. And there's two types of pain, and you've got the pain of discipline, which comes from taking action and having pain in the moment, psychological pain in the moment because something's hard, but it feels good afterwards. Then you've got the pain of regret, which is a much longer lasting pain where you have pleasure in the moment and a long sustained feeling of pain and sadness because you didn't do the thing you knew you should have done. So, and I don't even think I need to state which pain you should choose because it should be clear from this video, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the pain of discipline. You've got to pick the pain of discipline. The path to heaven feels like hell. The path to hell feels like heaven. So I think you should take that quote and have a real think about it. And start small. Like I said in the last episode, one task a day. It's all you need to start with. Just start building up that resistance tolerance and keep doing the hard things every single day, 7 days a week. You don't have days off because your brain doesn't know it's Sunday. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to train our brain to recognize these patterns of resistance and how you react to resistance, and how every single day you're consistent and you do the hard things, especially when you don't feel like them. Like I said, mental strength builds. You get 1% better every single day. Do a hard task where you don't want to, do a hard task where you don't want to, and it just keeps going like that. And it's actually just a never ending like graph of improvement. So that's about it for this video. Start right now, right this second. You don't say you start tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. You start right this second. Literally as soon as you close this video, You've started already. Just do something just straight away. Just kick it off. That's the best way to do it. I challenge you to do 20 push-ups right now. That's all you got to do. Just do it. If you don't do it, you're going to live a life of sadness and regret. If you do it, you're going to be a killer and you're going to be a G and your life's going to change and become more mentally strong and you're going to live a much more fulfilled life in the long term. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, I have an online fitness coaching program. You can apply for it in the description. It is £99 for the first 8 weeks. That's the current price. If you're watching this video later on, if it's an old video by the time you're watching it, the price may be different. But if you're seeing it now, £99 for 8 weeks, a brilliant price. You're not going to get that anywhere else. So that's it for this video today, lads, and I will see you in the next one.